Well, I'm Rahae, and I've been based in Lahore for the last almost 3 decades, I like to say. And I've grown up basically listening to the music of our own heritage, of our cultural heritage. My family background is heavily involved in music. They've always encouraged me to pursue this art, and I'm quite fortunate. They've always supported me in that. So I've basically, my main instrument is a sitar. That's what I've been playing for the last 20 odd years. So I mean, when I was during my early childhood years, I'd always be fascinated with the keyboard. I love to play, workout tunes on the keyboard, whether it was Bollywood music or Beatles songs. So I had that exposure to Western music and to our local music as well, even pop, Pakistani pop. Then A.R. Rahman came, of course, and then that really inspired me a lot. And I think also because in the family, my grandfather used to have this place called the Sanjay Nagar Institute, और वहाँ पे they would always have recitals, sitar recitals, and of course my parents would also have these betaks at home, and in one of those betaks I got to listen to my first teacher, Ustad Ashraf Sharif Khan, and he was young at that time, and he was my first teacher. It was very easy to connect with him at his level. So in that sense, I think I was lucky to have that environment in the home, around me, in my family. Then of course, I had Ali Noor and Ali Hamza, the Noori boys, who I'd always look up to and whose music I was always into. Never questioned. I mean, all they used to say was that, as long as you do it to the best of your intentions, give it your 100%. And I think I managed to make it work. After I graduated from NCA, I was able to go and teach in different universities, whether it was Beacon House, NCA, eventually LUMS. And then of course, I could pursue my masters after that as well. I spent a lot of time in India. I also went to Kolkata to the Sangeet Research Academy, where I spent 8 months there learning music and staying in an environment where music was all around me. And all the top musicians of India in classical music were there, whether they're instrumental or vocal. So that really helped and shaped my playing. I think the biggest challenge is, yes, the connection. Establishing that connection on stage, whether it's on stage or off stage. Because I myself, I also like to compose and produce. I own a studio at my house called Red Brick Music Studios, and sometimes, whether it's on stage or off stage, you're struggling to make that connection with your audience, your listeners. And for that, there's no formula. You have to go along with what you feel is right. My family was always into this kind of music, and first of all, it wasn't my choice. It was just, oh yeah, beta, we like the sitar a lot, please play it. My parents were like that. And then I think after a while, when I joined NCA, did the musicology department there, which the degree which Raza had started, I think my understanding of these traditions began there and became more formidable. Actually, one of my biggest influences is Raza Kazim, who was my grandfather, my maternal grandfather. He was always encouraged that one should strive to pursue or understand his own heritage, his own traditions, more than anything, and be proud of that and own it. I would encourage that if they decide to do this, they need to, first of all, keep an open mind about the music they're doing. Secondly, if they're doing this, they need to understand that practice makes perfect. You can only convince those around you if you are convinced yourself completely, if you have that conviction in you, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do and this is where I want to go. So if you decide to, take this on, like a instrument such as sitar or tabla, do it, but do it with a lot of conviction, and then also do it with some intellectual input, meaning that you can't just play and that's it. You need to inform yourself of all the different kinds of music out there. You need to understand how how people operate in the studio, how you can sort of record your own stuff as well. And I think you have to be savvy in that way. That's the advice I would give, that just, don't be tunnel visioned. Be more holistic and three-dimensional. Us about the Heritage Now festival, which was happened in October last year, and he said I made him hear the music that we did, and he's like, guys, why aren't you performing this? Let's just do it. I'm going to pitch you guys. I'm going to sell you guys to the board members of the Heritage Now festival, and I'm going to make it happen. So he made it happen, and I think that was a big break, I guess. Well, it's not big because right now it's still a young band. And I think when we performed on stage, I think that's when we realized what we've made. Yes, well, we're hoping that maybe sometime in April we'll have one in Lahore. But we plan to release the EP, a short album of our 6 instrumentals that we've mastered and mixed by hopefully May. I think it's a really exciting time for music. I feel that there's a lot more happening now. I think thanks to commercial successes like Coke Studio, Pepsi Battle of the Bands, more people, young people are encouraged to take this up. And you have a lot of different bands. The Lahore Music Meet that happened earlier this year, and that's happened for I think three times now, and it's always been a refreshing and a really lively and vibrant atmosphere there. And so many people have turned up, and people are thirsty for new content, new music. So I think this is a time where new music is going to be made, new bands are going to come, new artists. The only problem and concern is structure. Structure in terms of the financial sustainability, the, what do you call it, the venues, the opportunities that come for them. I think that needs to be sort of worked on, and that's something that organizers or people who are not in this field but have a genuine understanding of music, they need to step up and make that happen. Because musicians, honestly, how much can we do? We can't organize our own events and market it and get the funding and things like that. The guy will just the artist will eventually, he'll be like, I can't do this anymore, so he ends up doing something else. He'll take a job or a day, a 9-to-5 job, and that's tragic. Because if you're really good, and to be able to not do that or deliver or work on that, the world misses out on a lot. We will miss out on a lot as an audience, as listeners, as people who need art in this time and day, where things are just not like that connection with humanity sort of slowly digressing, I feel. And arts are the one thing that can sort of bring that connection or keep that connection alive. So that's my take on it. Well, like I said, I've been teaching in 2 different places, whether it's University of the Punjab College of Art and Design. I'm a full-time lecturer there, and also I was doing a course on evolution of music in the subcontinent at LUMS. So I would be going there twice a week, and Punjab University every day. But apart from that, I do my riyazat, practice on the sitar. I also write, about music, different articles. So the last thing I saw was, I think there was a movie called Marshall. It's one of those lawyer type movies. Or then I saw Allah Yar and The Legend of Markhor in the cinema last week, and I was very pleasantly surprised and happy to see this kind of a film coming out of Pakistan, and it was really good. Recently, we started a project called Mughal Funk, where I collaborated or got together with 3 other musicians One is Kami Paul, who's a drummer, and probably one of the best drummers in Pakistan. Then Rufa Shahzad, a keyboardist and synth player, also phenomenal. And Farhan Ali, who is a bassist and does other stuff as well, but primarily, his bass playing skills are mad. So I'm quite fortunate that we've started this, and I'm a part of it. Just got done with the score for a sort of short film, like 4-minute film for this company called Dot and Line. It's in Karachi based. It's like a movie, it's a sort of education and schools sort of theme. And apart from that is my friend Umar Riaz, who is a filmmaker, and I just finished working with him on the score for his film A Lover to Some Beloved, which is a sort of film based on Zia Muhyiddin's life and his relationships with two other people, Faiz Ahmed Faiz and Daud Reber. So it was good, fun working on that. First of all, it's Mughal Funk's EP. You guys better stay tuned for that, because that's going to come out soon, and we're going to be making more compositions, collaborations. We'll be collaborating with different artists. The other thing is I also like to do